Greetings, my friends. I wasn't sure to make a video today because it is a time to relax. It is a time to stand still. It is a time to meditate. It is a time to concentrate our energy because there is such a great, amazing shift of energy. We're already on the brink of the manifestation of the greatest shift, that evolutionary shift that humanity has ever come to know on this planet. And we are in the forefront of that energy. We are really the key to that which is turning on. And the waiting, we've been waiting a long time, but waiting is faith in motion. It is an act of faith, and sometimes we may get bored, but boredom is about compiling ideas and thoughts to refine our energy. So I'm going to discuss a few ideas. I thank you very much for your support, supporting the channel, liking, sharing, commenting. Not to forget to subscribe. I thank you for your donations if you can. I'm going to discuss some point is that we have to produce an effort, but it has to be the right effort. The Buddha explained, the Buddha understood pretty much everything on how things work. Because I created my awakening came through esoterical Buddhism, the sense of Vovi, spiritual school of non-being. And I'm really realizing that all those were very solid ground and basis for the enlightenment. The Buddha was an enlightened being. He elevated his consciousness beyond the realm of form and matter and tuned into great wisdom. But in truth, there was a so we don't need to produce an effort in order to move forward. Yet what is divine requires no effort. There was absolute, the divine God makes everything work without effort, absolutely no effort. It is purely natural. So all that is divine that is coming to us will not require an effort. There was a writer named Eschyle, 6th century BC, that already expressed that, and that which is divine does not require effort. It just comes naturally. Because we're learning to live in the now, but that means harmonizing ourselves with the plan of our soul and higher intelligence. That means being in the now. For me, it's because we're really returning from chaos into order, and it is the voyage of Ulysses, Odysseus in Greek, for him he left Ithaca, his kingdom, with his wife, his child, and the divine order to go fight this terrible war of Troy, because of Menelaus who was called him to assist in order to recuperate Helen, who was kidnapped, his wife. So they won the war, but it took Ulysses, Odysseus, 8 years to return to Ithaca. It's the great book of Homer. But for me, I say hopefully it will take me half time. I've been in this. I left Ithaca, divine order, about 4 years ago. Well, it wasn't really Ithaca, but it was really a great deal of like an exile. For 5 years I've been in exile for my life, and hopefully it is like it is now, returning to something even greater than what I left. So it's okay to be okay with boredom, because it's like it's really compounding thoughts, and it's preparing our energy to enter into the stage. All of a sudden the curtains is going to open and we're going to be on the stage. So be ready to assume more responsibility. We can only rehearse so much. We are being prepared. We're getting all kinds of clues. We're being prepared, but we can only rehearse so much, because it's going to require to be ready for improvisation. When the new circumstances, the new plateau, the new experience, when we come into the world, we're going to be called to improvise in relationship to all that comes. But we'll be guided by higher intelligence, and knowing that the script is already scripted. It's already been designed by the soul and the creator. So we'll have just to be in touch with our higher self and guidance while we are traversing that, while we are experiencing that. For within the unity of it all, that's what we seek, is to return to unity. There is no uniformity. It's about the great diversity. It's not because beings have achieved the state of unity that they think the same way, that they dream the same thing, that they envision things, that they understand things the same way. It's part of the great diversity, but there is the basis of love, truth, beauty, and unity that connects all beings, so they don't come in conflict with each other. Yet there is a great deal of diversity within the universe, yet it is all inclusive. So I wanted also to say that in the next few days it's important to be very careful, because there's going to be some astral entities, dark forces, attacks on all the light workers. The fact that if we are attacked by dark forces, is because we're very close to this final point of liberation. So it is a sign. So the thing is like get a watch out and protect yourself against those psychic attacks, which is about doubts, about fear, about distractions, about discouragement, about sadness. Those things are not belong to you. They're going to be pushed to your conscious. They may be pushed to your consciousness, and mostly at night. Be careful. There may be some nightmares and things. Those do not belong to you. When you go to sleep at night, wrap yourself in a blanket of white light, and ask call on the Archangel Michael at any time, so he can use his sword of truth to cut out those energies out of your consciousness. They might create judgment, conflict, polemic, separation, but be aware that those energies do not belong to you. The dark forces on the planet in human forms they're going to try to do all they can to stick in place, but they're really no longer in any sort of power to stay in place, and they're kind of fighting against themselves to keep some kind of control, but they are not the one to worry about. It's the astral entities, the demons. Everybody carries a number of demons. Every time you turn on the TV, you have 150 demons, different entities that become active. Turn on the internet, it's the same thing. You have about 50 of them. And so it's and everybody carry more or less. So we have to handle this darkest part of ourselves and to get this under control, to master the control over the lower self. It's not about fighting, or because they win. If we fight, they win. So it's like just to allow the divine to always be. Remember that you have this divine I am. That you say, I return to the source. I return to source. And so, because the more we are, the more we are awakening, the more we will be attracting dark forces. So stay centered and not fall into anything. Just remember that you can use put a glass of water next to your bed, so all the negative energy will go into the glass, and then in the morning you don't drink it. You throw it. You give it back to the earth. Or you can use crystals, or you can light candles. There's all kinds of ways to increase the frequency that may be just energetic. That can, if it's done with intentions. So that's what I wanted to talk about today. I'm going to pull a few cards. So just be prepared for this amazing change. But do not be surprised if there is still moments of doubts that can come up because of the last grasp of those dark forces. Then they won't have. They just love them. If you send them love, if you love yourself and send them love, you'll see that they probably, hopefully, you never know, they might take it, and then they turn into love. They learn to feed from love rather than fear. I've had this experience before with dark entities that I send love, and it's like the light, and then this entity took the light. He was like a big snake with his tongue, and had this fear, and I saw that he was nourishing himself. That was 20 years ago. And then so I sent him light, and so it was this big lizard, this huge lizard, and he took the light with him. And then later on in my third eye, I saw he was devoured by all kinds of lizards, like hundreds of lizards that were devouring him. Hopefully they all turned into the light, this whole group of entities. So we want to send everything back to source, or send it to Mother Earth. Call on your guides, call on the Archangel Michael, call on any divinity you feel comfortable to. The card of the day is the time of the nap. So it is very much a time not to get too excited, to prepare for these amazing things that will come without effort, this amazing transformation. The higher wisdom is why. We're going to understand the why. Once we understand the why, everything makes sense. The books are going to be open because everything is stored. There's a library. And we all have a book within this library. And so sometimes we are recalling experiences, like a page flipping. What we need to understand is the treasure island. This treasure that is coming. It's going to be amazing. It is amazing. Let's speak in the present, as if it already has been done. The more we feel it's been done, the easier the flow will be. Although there will be a transition, an acclimatization of this new life, new energy, new dimension of reality. What we need to do is trust. Self-confidence and trust, faith. and the outcome is yin. It thinks that things will happen naturally by the divine grace. Things will happen, unfold naturally. So it is, and so we're already there. And this really great turning point. Sometimes we feel the wait has been long, but we'll understand why we needed to wait to get there, and we'll have so much. We already have so much gratitude when we start feeling the point of freedom. Gratitude and appreciation, that's really is when we can feel gratitude and appreciation for what we have already and what we see coming, then we open ourselves to the receptivity of the flow. And the card of the day is the arts. The arts were given for to increase the quality of life. So it is, me, I'm an artist. For those who do not know me, I'm a fine artist. I've been dedicating my life to art, and I'm going to start a project. That's a project of galleries. We're really going to impose a style, a direction of art that is something beyond aesthetic, that brings energy of the source. Because right now the art world is very political. There is 100 major galleries in the world, and they're showcasing only 20 artists. But those 20 artists I have absolutely no interest in. And maybe some I could pay not to get into my house or into my galleries. I would pay to keep them away because I don't like their vibration. And of course, there is some art that I would pay to get in or pay to own or whatever. But very much I feel my art and the art that we're going to be proposing in our project is going to be post-contemporary. It's going to be art that Renaissance art, a new Renaissance. Because art, a lot of art, I was watching, I can't really travel right now, but I've been watching on the internet all kinds of art fairs and galleries, shows and videos. And a lot of it is very narcissistic. It's like artists expressing their traumas. It's like, it's good art. It's solid. It's like, but I wouldn't want that. It's in my home. It's not evolved enough. It doesn't shine yet. It's solid. It's strong. But the narcissism in art is something that René Diderot, the philosopher, 18th century, who invented the dictionary. Everybody in Europe was envious of the French philosophers, because of that dictionary with Voltaire and so on. So Diderot did some art critics, and he was analyzing a painting of Caravaggio, of Narcisse looking himself in a pond, and he kind of realized and noted in his review of that of art that most art is narcissistic. It is about a reflection of who the artist is. So personally, I know there's a lot of source energy in my art, and so it's going to be very interesting to bring that into the world. Sometimes I feel like when I see what's going on in the art fairs, there is so little of that. It's like God is waiting for me to arrive to bring all kinds of other artists that carry this source energy. Because it's not the artist that decides if his art is important. He's going to do whatever he's going to do. It's not the art world. The art world is going to like what it's going to like. But history will decide, time will decide. For Van Gogh, was absolutely, completely rejected from all the art world. But history decided that his work was meaningful, just as Modigliani and many others were discovered after their lifetime. So, as there is really no, I see the art fairs, but there is really, like, I could see a whole art fair. There is not a single piece I would want to bring home. It's like there is really nothing new. There's some good art, but no breakthrough, no source energy, a lot of ego. But and there is some good artists, and I know we're going to find some amazing artists to represent in our galleries as well, and I will be able to organize my work. And because a lot of artists are presenting they discover one thing they want, and then all their life they're going to explore that one theme. But for me, I have about 10 themes, so it's going to be more difficult for people to understand what I'm doing, because I have all started with all those big paintings with philosophical texts from the Buddha, from Lao Tzu, from the Truth by God, and those amazing spiritual paintings, the very ascended paintings, already in the late 80s, early 90s. Then I went into metacosmic, about the planets, the stars, the galaxy, and then I went into celestial, the organization of the universe of universes. But then I went into scenes and interiors, and I'm starting to do landscapes and portraits and nudes, and then also some minimalist and conceptual work. So I do want to explore all those themes. They usually start by drawing or little studies, and then they move into into major exploration of the theme. And when I'm going to show them, I'm not going to show them chronologically. I'm going to show them chronologically, but by theme. So now it's like it took me a while to figure it out how to introduce that into the world, but it's going to be very exciting. For what I like the most in the art, for me personally, this all depends on the test, but it's modern art, 1850, 1950. Although there is some really good artists in contemporary world after 1950 that I like. Some of them are a bit overpriced, I think, but we'll see when we have to deal with that. But very soon, a lot of new artists will come in with this love, light, and source energy, and hopefully, we're going to be able to give them a platform, platforms to show their work. So I just finished this little study. It's a little abstract painting, action painting. And I've started this one. It's like a mix. I'm going to do a whole series of. I return to source. It's just a reminder when when you remember the art. It's like the vibration. They remind you what's important, what's essential. And so for now, I can only do little studies. I'm working on the little corner of a table. It's really hard on my back, but so I can't really do much work. I've been asked to do like. Videos on the process of painting. As soon as I have a studio, I'll set up. I'll explain. I'll show the process to get to explain more, because art has to be explained a little bit when it's new. If people in 1900 were presented with a Picasso from the 1950s, they would completely not understand, but the eye has been trained progressively to understand and accept the vision of Picasso. That's one example. And so, but I think it's important to innovate, to find something that nobody else does, or when we do, to do it with our own style and energy. For the card of the day is justice. Justice is returning. Justice is fairness. It's balance. It's when things are just, there is really nothing to complain about. There's been a lot of injustice in this world. It was the will of the strongest would dominate over the will of those below. But now we're going to be returning to a world that will be fair and just. And a lot of people are really eager to feel that they're all considered equal to everybody else, to be able to work to level the playing field, because a lot of things are manipulated so that some have a lot of advantage over others in the playing field of life on the planet. The higher wisdom is indulgence. To accept a certain indulgence, not to be too severe, not to bring to be in judgment of yourself or others. What you need to understand is generosity. To let go of the judgment, that's a generosity. To let go, also to be generous materially and spiritually, to have good thoughts. Letting go of judgment is a form of generosity to understand why until we understand why someone is doing what they're doing, or because everybody always thinks they're doing the best, no matter what. Even those tyrannical things, the people that are tyrannical, they're responding to an inner suffering or inner complex of inferiority, and they're projecting their power onto the world. But we no longer need that. But passive resistance, we just say no, thank you. When something it does not, we don't need to fight it. We just apply a new energy over it. What we need to do is the knowledge, to continue to cultivate this sense of light and knowledge, this inner knowledge, this inner higher intelligence that guides our life. And the outcome is friendship. There is a lot of new friendships that are coming, new friends, this new tribe. It's going to be quite amazing. We're going to find old friends are going to be coming back, but we're making new friends, and we're getting ready for all kinds of new relationships, both on a personal, sentimental, professional, social, spiritual. There is all kinds of new energy, people that are going to be coming into our life that will be friends with. It's going to be really nice. We share a vision. Those friend people, I think it was Aristotle who was saying, a friend is one soul who lives in two different bodies, because there is such a reciprocity of energy. We have the same humor. We share we're different. We're unique, and we complement each other within the circle of friendships. But But Seneca said we don't need 1,000 friends because our real friend will feel neglected. It's better to those who have demonstrated or those you feel very close to. Just do not neglect your real friends to 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 put on pedestals people from the on social media. They're wonderful people, I'm sure, but there is all kinds of circle, huh? And then the circle grows. It's like you have your inner circle, you have your internal circle, you have there is like life is circular, there is like concentric, and it all evolves around you here and now. Remember, there is God within yourself, God within you, and when the light body is going to be activated, the light will crown you. That's why they call the crown. There is a crown of light that will come, that is placed on your head when you become sovereign of your inner kingdom. And that is really what is going on. There is this awakening to this to our light body, and it's a preparation. We're being acclimated little by little. Well, my friends, I hope this message will resonate with you, that you can protect yourself during the next few days, that you prepare yourself for the amazing freedom and joy and sharing, because everything that God will give us is going to be a lot. So we have to learn to share it. It's very important, and we're not getting it just for ourselves, like the misers, like my precious, my precious. We're not doing that. We're going to be able to share it, and so it's going to be quite wonderful. I thank you for liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. I thank you for your donations, and if you want a private session or discuss painting, you can always send me an email. I wish you a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you later. Namaste.